Now let's finally build a MiniWarGear. To build one quickly, we will use cannons that are already built in publics. I already explained, publics are MiniWarGears that everyone has access to, so a good way to build your first MiniWarGear is to just use the cannons that are already public. The only work you have to put in to get them is to actually extract them and to look at the publics. Just do /gen search minus type MiniWarGear 20 for version 20 and type minus public. I already decided I want a cannon from the public Naturgestein. Okay, let's do /paste to spawn it. And the cannon I want to use is the one in the bottom here. It's a stab cannon, which means it shoots a straight hole into the enemy. You see? Straight hole. And because the rules only allow of a maximum of 12 projectiles in the main cannon, which this is the main cannon, 12 TNT don't suffice to actually kill Tech all the way to the back, so we need another shot. Like this. And what this cannon also already does for us is it changes the delay automatically, because in the second shot the projectiles have to explode a little bit, have to be primed a little bit later. And like I said, this cannon automatically does that for us. And we can also shoot in a different height. Like this. And now it's shot at top. So now that we've decided on a cannon, let's actually get it out of this public. To do that, we'll have to fly inside the MiniWarGear and do X-ray to have an easier time seeing what we're doing, and /night vision, to see more, or if you have my mod pack, you can do H to just do it with the hotkey. Now let's see where the cannon begins. The part for this back that has relevant components is the threadstone lamp, so we should start here. And we also see this observer here, the part that sticks out the furthest on the right. So this is our first corner. Now we need to go to the corner on the opposite side and look what parts we need to include. These redstone repeaters seem to be the part furthest out on this side. So let's go up. And at the top, it's a bit hard to see, but the highest part that's relevant are these redstone wires and observers here. These blocks up top here are just for the bridge tech, so we can ignore them. So the corner we have to select here is around here. No, we did not manage to actually hit it. So just place a block here and try again. And you will see an outline which shows you your selection. And you can double check if you actually did everything correctly, which seems to be the case. So now just go to this center part here. I like to make sure I'm actually in the center of this block by using the NF wand. And then do /copy. Go to your region where you want to build your MiniWarGear. To the center part and to /paste. And now you will see the cannon you extracted. Perfect. No mistakes were made. Only thing we can do is maybe remove this part here, which doesn't do anything. Okay, now it did. And also remove this part here. Now we have a pretty clean version. One thing you have to keep in mind when choosing cannons is that, for example, let's say all your cannons can only shoot forwards. Then the enemy kills everything on this side of your MiniWarGear, and now you're screwed because since everything can only shoot forward, you don't have anything that can hit this side of the enemy, which just sucks in a fight. And for that reason, if you can't find cannons that can shoot to the left if they stand here or other way around, you should prioritize choosing those. The more places they can hit, the better. One other game mode you can choose schematics from is MWG. That's because MWG is largely based off of MiniWarGear. The rules are sort of similar, they are just a lot simpler. And the big difference being in MWG you get TNT over time instead of having a projectile limit, so some cannons may be different and not entirely useful for MiniWarGear. To get a MWG you do pretty much the same as with MiniWarGears. You just type /shem, search, -type, MWG 20 this time, and -public. And for this video I will choose cannons from the Hornet public. As for cannons which make sense for MiniWarGear, this one would be a great example. It's an overhead loader, which means you just load overhead and run backwards while doing it, which enables you to shoot pretty quickly. It also has it can also shoot a bit more to the right. Now I will try actually loading pretty quickly. And it has a different height mode. So it can hit in 4 different spots. One thing you have to keep in mind for this cannon is if you want to make the hole deeper, you will have to open this fence gate to make the projectile delaying a bit longer. Which the other cannon did automatically be extracted, but this one you have to do it yourself. Extracted. One thing you have to keep in mind is I think this cannon does not work in 1.21, so if the game mode updates, you probably won't be able to use it. But you could also try to fix it if the time comes. So the beginning is in this corner. These observers are also still part of the cannon. And then this is the top layer. These are all not needed. These redstone block here. Then choose this. And it looks like everything is included in the selection. Back here. Okay. We should also... we don't need to flip it. Paste it here. Now we have a second cannon. Also need a slab here, so the sign doesn't break. Now we should look for something that shoots on the roof. So, I just got a new cannon. This is a cannon you've seen in the previous part, where it switched between an automatic cannon and a manual cannon. This is the manual version of it, but actually in armored and not just with the most important parts. I'll show you how it shoots. You see this cannon shoots behind the enemy and then in the back. Can also downstep, like just shoot on the roof, pretty much straight down. And it can shoot in the front or on the roof and in the front and at the same time. This cannon may not be part of a public, but I will provide this cannon as well as all other cannons I use in the description. You just have to join my Discord and then you will get all these schematics. You want to use them yourself without having to do the work of extracting them. So now we have 5 cannons, so we still have now 2 left for every side. And what I will probably do is I will add us a sidestep. From the MWG demon. That's this cannon right here. And what this cannon does is it shoots in the side of the enemy. Okay, that did not work. If something like this happens to you, you can always do /trace auto, shoot, and then do trace. Oh, what this does is shows you how the cannon shot, and now it actually worked out of, I don't know, out of fear that I might fix it. Let's try again. Okay. Now we can click on this TNT, on isolate, and now it will only show the path of this one TNT. Shows probably, if we do trace show -A, these white parts show where it calculated up and to the side. This shows us that it probably hit these blocks here. And now it should probably work. Okay, let's try a second. Looks good. Next question is, does it have an upper mode? No, it does not. Looks like I found a cannon. This is a semi-automatic, which I also explained. You just look down here and hold right click, and the cannon does all the rest. Also probably be able to include a width mode with not much trouble. So activate play again. Cannon starts. This, yeah, we also tick to the bottom, and it starts here. It's high, so let's mark this sign. And we already know it's got to the bottom, so let's go there. Looks about right. Yeah. Then flip it to the other side. With floppy paste. Oh no, floppy paste makes no sense. With floppy paste you would have copied, flipped and pasted it. Since that's a bad position. Here. Or not. Yeah, that should be alright. Let's see where it actually hits. Ooh, perfect. And now we can try adding a different setting. The propellants are here. Now we just need to open these blocks. Let's try with first. Let's see if it works. There doesn't seem to be one. No, also need to be able to turn the setting on and off. Let's see. So that's probably the optimal solution. Then, no, maybe a lightning rod, because if we choose a block here and push it to here to activate the setting, the block will prevent the projectiles from moving where they're supposed to be, like in this corner here. So lightning, or we could also just use a wall. It's the easiest solution. Now we need to connected. So we will just have to make an ugly wiring. And that's where freeze is good for. Freeze. I also have /smart place active, which allows you to, if you press shift and place if you're flying, to automatically rotate stuff how you probably want it to be placed, and if you don't press shift it places it normally. That. Then, I don't know, node block. Well, let's just do a fence gate. Because with the node block you don't really see if you actually if the setting is activated or deactivated. But with the fence gate you can see if it's open or closed. Now freeze. That works. Perfect. And now we can optimize it a bit. So now the setting is enabled. So let's do this. Press left click and right click at the same time. And now it's disabled. No, it's not. Because the issue if we use a wall. Can we trace? No. Yet. Like this should be disabled, but possible for the TNT, like myself right now, to be still pushed into this corner by the water because it's flowing to this corner here. And if we use this, now it's activated. But if it's here, it gets pushed into this corner, but it doesn't get pushed next to this wall here. So if we shoot again. Yeah, one more. It shoots straight. So now we have this sorted. Now do the copy again. And I will quickly switch how this cannon works. This is a quick loader, which means load it quickly, but it's not semi-automatic. You still have to do most of the things. Let's press stop here. Okay, this trace is still on. Why? I started it. It explains it. But the good thing about this cannon is, like all cannons, it can hit straight, but it can also shoot to the left, and by quite a margin. Like this. Yeah, you have all this delay to change how far you actually want it, to shoot. And you also have different heights. This is the top. And then you also have a bottom mode. So first let's get this cannon out. It will freeze, so I can't break stuff. It looks pretty easy. Like this. This is exceptionally easy to get out. Well then, copy. Where can I? This is inside the other can. Possibly like this. But what I will do, this cannon back a bit. / move 1B. Also move this cannon. I have more space to design. So now we have our 9 cannons. We can flip the entire thing without the center, because I don't think that's good for this cannon. Like that. And now we can do / floppy p, and it's on the other side. Yeah, activates hard play, so it looks a bit nicer. Then just look at the barrel in this cannon. This goes 2 blocks +1 with walls. 2 blocks, 1 with walls. Another block, which is 3 wide, 1 extra high. It will extend. What we will do now is shoot through all the modes, and then we can see how the barrel needs to look. Just do this. Okay, we shot in the wrong order because it probably had the second delay. Like if you shoot first, it has like delay setting 1, you shoot a second time to get deeper, delay setting 2, and this was delay setting 2, so we got out of rhythm. So just shoot another time and it will look like it's supposed to. Yeah. And now we have two options. First, we can do trace boundless A, and we can basically just build it by hand, just extend it outward. Looks good. I mean, okay, this barrel is extremely easy, but let's just say we're going further with this. Then, I don't know, this could be a wall, probably. Yeah. Then just blocks here. And those could also be walls. Not walls, slabs. More walls. Like that's how you could theoretically build a barrel. But the way simpler method is select up to here. That's important because it needs another calculation point here. And from here, then do Laufbau and do blast resistant, or could also do smallest. And it will just build the barrel for us. And I think yeah, we probably would have selected up to here, from here to here, /2 for second position, and then try again. Yeah, that looks better, but we have the issue of it being broken. So, since it's so easy, let's just do it like this. And do publish live set endstone to set a wall of endstone. And that's this barrel done. And now we have to create this barrel here. Shoot a few times. And I will also shoot one more time, because depending on how well this the TNT got compacted into a single spot, that changes how accurate the barrel is. Must be. But it looks pretty exact. So if it always looks like it's always exactly in the same spot, these TNTs, then you can build a pretty exact barrel. But sometimes, I don't know, the TNT here will stick a bit out on the left. So the TNT just looks a bit wider. And then in another shot it might be a bit higher. And in these cannons, I recommend not going too exact with the barrel. So I don't know if we had a not so accurate cannon, and if this would be perfect, if it looks fine to do this, maybe you should do a wall instead, just to be safe. Or just, I don't know, shoot it 20 times and then build a barrel. But since this cannon is pretty exact, we don't need to do that. And we can just select from here, go to that spot, and do the split Aufbau and do smallest. Expand 1, smallest, like this. Maybe looks a bit funky, but that's the smallest possible barrel you could do. And we can shoot one more time to be safe that it actually works like this. Yeah, it works. What you could also do is not wireless, but blast resistant. Oh, I cleared the traces. That was pretty smart from me. Yeah, this is also an option. So it doesn't look quite as funky. And you can also do settings to choose exactly which blocks you want to have in your barrel. But let's do blast resistant, not blast resistant, smallest. First, the reason to do smallest is it reduces the chances of the enemy possibly just shooting straight into your barrel and ignoring all your armor. Do bulldozer and destroy this part. Yeah. Now that we have these barrels, this one is still missing. Let's trace clear. I can show you all the modes this thing has. First we have the standard one. And I will create a new backup so I can reverse all these settings I'm changing. And I just noticed the shields are missing. But I think this was a mode. I just don't know which. Probably the front one. Yeah. You would have to change the delay a bit, but this one shoots in the front. In the final, in the version I will give you in a link, the signage will be correct, so you actually know how to just change the delay, so it doesn't just like spit it in the front of the enemy and you hope for the best. Now, the other mode is, I think, this one. This should shoot in the front and the roof. Yeah. And you could also only shoot in the roof, but for that you'd have to change the delay, and all these signs are broken for some reason. But like I said, I will fix it all. Yeah, and oh, I forgot. This might be an issue. Yeah. Just notice we have a width mode here with slime, but the issue is I think it will hit this cannon. So let's maybe move it up. Yeah, that makes... I could either just remove this mode or move it, and I think a move makes more sense. Why is there stuff missing here? Okay, I have to paste it again. Yeah, let's just move it up, break the cannon by doing so, and paste the cannon again. Not too much of a hassle. No, we can flip the MiniWarGear once again. Next thing we need is a bridge, and for that we should choose a place that does not have any technology that's too important that could be damaged from enemies shooting at it, because the bridge is a pretty big empty spot where armor could be. So if we, for example, have a bridge here and maybe have a big window here, the enemy could just shoot with their static and maybe break these with one shot. I mean, maybe those are not the best example because they're already in the front, but you know what I mean. So for that reason, I will probably build my bridge here. If you want, you could also do your bridge like, I don't know, one long line in the front here, or like here, or if you don't have a cannon that's in the back here, just put it in some random corner. But I want to have this look at least half decent. Let's make the bridge door here, because every bridge needs an entrance that can be locked from the inside. Okay, this works. I'll probably also begin to have this, yes, maybe not here, but here. Now that we have this part, we still need at least one alarm, which we could do an alarm that actually helps you hear that something broke, or do a tiny alarm that doesn't actually do anything. And I think we will just do both, so you can see both versions. Oh, the small version would just be this. On. Then you can only do flowers in hoppers, so put a flower in. Rotor. And this. Yeah. That's a small alarm that completely suffices. And it needs to blink and produce a sound periodically, so this is completely fine. And what you can also do is add a piston here Here. Like this. Let's do it like so. And with this, you can mute your alarm. And I think I may be stupid. Smart place. Deactivate. Now it actually blinks. This is also completely fine. No. Smart place again. Muted. This. And now let's do actual alarms. To do that, and but you have to be careful that if you have sand here and this block breaks, it will fall down and block the barrel, which you don't want. One thing that's probably the safest bet is just doing a bunch of observers. Just so if it's hit anywhere here, some pulse will get created. And what I like to do is put a bedrock above node blocks, because bedrock is one of the blocks that's not allowed, and node blocks have to have air above them to actually function. So if you try to submit your MiniWarGear with bedrock in it, it won't work, and you can't forget to remove the bedrock. Okay, it sucks, I like it. So now that we have this, put the bedrock again. A repeater here. I won't use observers, because if I put an observer here somewhere and it gets cut off again, it will create another pulse that activates an alarm, but without the actual sensor being triggered. Now we also need 8 headlights. Now we can do the infrastructure with the paths between the cannons. One thing that's always nice is a falling chute, which just means you can jump down into a hole and land in the destination without getting fall damage. You can just do with powders now. Carpet. Like this, you won't get fall damage. We can add a quick stair. I just have to remember how those work. Now what I'm doing here is place carpet, which will be important later, because you don't actually have to place the armor yourself. There's a tool for that, and the carpet just helps the tool notice where your paths are to not put endstone there, like it won't put endstone here, and also at stairs it will Now that all the paths are roughly done, you also need to have some... I also recommend you placing some barrels filled with TNT. Just get some TNT. Fill the entire barrel. And deactivate Tinker. And just click Control mouse, middle mouse to copy the contents. Or you can place filled barrels. Next part is building the design. For the design you could look at other publics. You could also, if you see a MiniWarGear fight, look at what others have built. Or just use your imagination for something. Just has to be a... You have to see some structure, it can't just be some random holes. Now that most things are done, you just have to look at all cannons, but keep in mind that carpets keep an air block above them, as well as like slabs I think have 2 blocks above them. That there are no air gaps, that basically there are no gaps inside into the cannon. Like, this is fine because there are gaps here, but if there was a gap like here, for example, that would have to be covered up. This cannon, for example, needs to be covered. This does the other side. This should also be fine because the tool I will use also usually accounts for pistons being moved. At least pistons like this and pistons like this. I don't think it accounts for such an arrangement. So it would place an endstone here. Now that everything seems fine, I will create one final backup. I will do / select build, which will select the build region here. And then go inside. Somewhere where I want the armor to be. And then do slash Panzer. Then I will choose the block which will be the armor. And the block that will be placed to prevent like redstone wire stairs being cut off. No, this doesn't look good. This cannon looks somewhat fine. This cannon looks fine. This one does not. So there is a gap somewhere, which would be here. Is it on the other side? I think this... Oh, it was the same issue, I think. So let's create another backup. And try the command again. This problem is fixed now. These paths still need to be opened up. Now it's basically done. Just have to make sure there's no TNT left inside. That's not supposed to be there. And what you could also do is design the interior a bit more and add a few lamps. But if you have Fulbright, it's not necessary. Like with this, without Fulbright, it's completely usable. Yeah, I will just quickly add interior design, and then we will see us again when I try to submit this thing. What you can also include on your roof are water cauldrons. Since bow fights are something that can happen in a fight if nobody has any cannons anymore, and the arrows that are used shoot flame, have the flame enchantment. So with the water cauldrons you can extinguish yourself. Now that everything is done, I will submit it by doing /rgc, which copies the build region. And now you do gem, save, type the name you want to give it. I will just use MWG or version, and I don't know how many MiniWarGears I built. I will just do SP for semi-public and 1. Give it a name. I will call it Mini Titan. And then press enter. And then do gem. Submit. Type the name you just put in. And then MiniWarGear 20. And I still have bedrock inside. So place bedrock 0. Copy again. Save. And gem submit. Here you can select if you want to replace pink to your team color. If standard, it does replace it. So you have team blue and team red, and if you're team red, all pink blocks will be replaced to red. So if you have a design that you want to keep in pink, just click on it. And if it's a pink wall, you know that pink won't be replaced. You can either extend your schematic, which sends you to a different server to extend your shields and submit it that way. But since we don't have any shields, we just submit it. We just submit directly. Hey, it's me from after reworking the entire video. Here's the stuff I changed about the MiniWarGear, which were made for the new footage of the updated video. I finally added interior design and signage. I also added windows to the back, because it looks nice from the inside, although it's technically not smart. The top level received an ice path. The overhead loader changes its delay automatically. And I created a new extendable water cauldron to extinguish yourself with the shield to not get hit by an arrow while doing so. And you can now lit the enemy on fire thanks to the new flamethrowers. The last update was re-adding the alarm from the semi-automatics, which I lost somewhere in the original recording. The updated cannon pack, linked in the description, also has the updated overhead loader, a few fixes and an alarm as well as the extendable cauldron.